Journey back to lumberjack camp. By golly, now there's a story. Now, if you've got lumberjacks, what do? They cut down trees. How boring can that be? Well, if you think that way, you're really mistaken, because the lumberjacks were real characters. Do you know they used to come into camp? They'd bring 2 pair of underwear with them for 6 months. They didn't bathe. They didn't brush their teeth. They didn't shave. They probably smelled like old goats after about a week. Can you imagine cutting down trees with layers and layers of clothing on in the middle of the winter simply because they had to skid the logs out on ice? And those lumberjacks would come in at night in the bunkhouse, and they'd be tired, and they'd scratch, and they'd itch, and they'd probably burp a little bit too, because they'd had these great big meals that was provided by the camp. And those men would sit down and they'd unlace those boots that were probably 2, 5, 10 years old. And you know something? They'd peel off those socks, 1, 2, 3 layers maybe, and they'd peel them off like bananas because their feet would be sweaty. And they'd hang those socks around that pot-belly stove so they'd dry out to be worn the next day. Do you know what the lumberjacks said? They wrote about this in their own diaries. Said, "We got so gosh darn much fresh air up here in northern Michigan because all the lumberjacks keep the stinky air shut up in the bunkhouse." They used to spit chewed up chewing tobacco. They used to spit chewed up chewing tobacco on the top of the pot-belly stoves to make the air smell better in the bunkhouses. Oh, could you imagine that? Well, that's what Journey Back to Lumberjack Camp's all about. A young person, probably like your age, going back through time to a lumber camp in the Great Lakes in the 1800s and meeting all these smelly, mean, tobacco-chewing guys.